Back to school season is upon us, and By Felicia Beauty is here to make sure you and your family start the school year off right. If you're in Chicago now through August 31st, you can lock in your appointment for a retwist in style at $100, a fresh set of natural hair braids at $85, and two strand twists at $100. So head over to byfeliciabeauty.glossgenius.com because spots are filling up quickly. Again, appointments can be made at byfeliciabeauty.glossgenius.com and just look for the back to school category. And don't forget the required $25 deposit. Wishing everyone a successful school year with By Felicia Beauty. Now let's get back to the show. Hey y'all, I'm Qurissy and welcome back to Photographer Life Check, where we check in about all things image making. Today we have a very special guest. We have photographer, DJ, and creative producer, Lena Elgabalawy. Hey! Lena, thank
Yes.
you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, Qurissy, thank you so much for having me, man. I'm truly honored and excited to be here. I've been following the show for a long time. I've been following you and your work for a minute, and I just really want to give you your flowers. Like, I love what you do. I'm so in awe of how consistent you've been and how, high of a quality level you've been producing with your consistency. It's no small feat as somebody who, knows a little bit what it takes to do these sorts of things. I know how much goes into it, and I know how difficult it can be to be, so consistent and produce things at such a high level. So I just want to give you your flowers, and I've been wanting to be on the show for a long time. I've just been like far too shy to ask. So thank you for seeing something in me to, share your platform with me, and thank you for your platform and like what it has done for the communities that you serve, and that you feature. So I've gotten a lot just from being a fan and supporter of the show and viewer of the show, and I'm very grateful to be here and very honored.
Oh my girl. Why
Truly,
would you
truly,
gag
truly.
me at the top of the show like this?
I had to. Like, we have to start it off this way. Like, the people need to know what's really going on here.
Thank you so much. That was very, very kind and very sweet. I really, really appreciate it. My heart, honestly, I feel like I'm gonna have to clip that little thing and put that on my phone so I can listen to anytime I'm like, what am I doing?
Yes, yes. No, you've been doing wonderful work. Like, I see you and I see all the ways that you have, expanded and grown in the short time that like I've been tapped in with you.
Yeah.
I love the work that you're doing like back in your hometown. I love seeing you, be on these panels and teach these courses. You're just
Uh,
doing everything. Like, I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful to be in community with you. And yeah, I'm just like glad to have been exposed to you and the work that you do. It's very special.
Likewise. I'm so happy I ran into you that day. That was a magical moment for me. And I
Man.
appreciate you pouring into me right now because we about to pour into you. Let's get into this photographer fit check. The curls is popping. I already told you. What are we wearing?
Hey, so we got curls. I did wash my hair yesterday, so
Fresh
for
curls.
this.
Let's go.
And then I'm
Cute.
so ready for my photographer fit check, bro. I don't have any shoes on, but I have my neighbor's skate shop tee
Shout
here.
out to neighbors.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
My chain that I wear like every day. And
That's fun.
then we got some shorts.
Hey, come
These are just
on.
some jean
Yeah.
shorts. Hot in the land. I'm in LA, so these are paper planes, which I believe is like Jay-Z's brand or something. I got these in New York.
Like,
Yeah, that's it. Cute and simple.
gorgeous.
Fly.
Shout out to that. That's so fire.
Yes.
Today, I am wearing this little linen top. I just wrapped myself up in this little blanket because my feet were getting cold with the AC
Mm-hmm.
on. But this little linen
Oh, that's
top,
so pretty.
one of the pieces I got from Vietnam from
Mm-hmm.
this linen atelier called Cow Cow. At least that's
Mm.
it's pronounced. I love them so bad. I got this another top and a pair of pants from them that I'm not wearing the pants today, but I love them bad. It just feels so good. I think they're all like handmade and hand embroidered. My other piece I got was an embroidered piece.
Yeah.
And when you go out of town and you're visiting places, I at least I always like to come back with something. I'm like, I don't know what it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be, but this is really far away from home, so I know it can't be too much. My bag gonna be crazy. But when I
No, you
found
chose right. You chose
right
right.
when I found this spot,
Good
I was
blonde.
like, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah, that's a great shade of green too.
Right? And also one of my favorite colors. So had to do
Yes,
it.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into this life check, my girl.
Mhm.
To add a little context off the top, this episode is really special to me because it's something that I think about a lot, but also something I talk about a lot with the
Mhm.
multi-hyphenate creatives in my life and
Yeah.
also the people that do not consider themselves that. So, a little bit of context on who you are and what you do so we can get into like the multitudes of you a little bit later on the show. So, while you
Oh yeah.
introduce yourself just a little bit, I'll pull up your Instagram so folks can see some of your work.
Hello world. My name is Lena. I'm from LA in the Bay Area. Do a lot of things, but I am a photographer. I'm a visual artist, so I do some video work as well. I DP. I worked on some short films and things like that, music videos. I've worked with a lot of artists on their visuals. Um, I'm a creative producer, so I curate and produce art shows and community events, amongst other things. Like I'm working on a YouTube show right now that I've been working on for a while, where we showcase some of like the most prominent producers in the music game right now. And I also DJ, like a whole ass DJ as well. So yeah, I do a couple of different things, honestly, but those are kind of like the main worlds that I operate in. It's art, culture, music, and community.
Perfect. And I'm so glad you labeled them as such because I'm also working with three pillars here today to describe this idea of a woman in particular, but a creative containing multitudes. So as I was like writing out our episode, I was thinking about, okay, like how can I break this down the easiest? And what I came
Yeah.
up with were perception, reality,
Mhm.
and desire. So perception
Mhm.
being how we are perceived, which is honestly, I think can be like one of the lowest levels or like lowest tiers, but socially expensive, relationally expensive,
Mhm.
so still very
Mhm.
valuable. Reality
Mhm.
is how you actually show up, all the things you
Yeah.
do, like you said,
Yeah.
the industries you navigate throughout, and then desire, which is all the identities we would like to actually take on, even containing all these multitudes, there's still more in our imagination,
Yes. Yes.
ideas we still want to create that have not
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
kind of been sitting on that list, like how and when are we gonna bring this thing to life, right?
Real. Mhm.
So I thought you would make the perfect artist for this because when I met you and found out you did all of these different things, I was like, one, oh my God, girl, where is the time? But then I was like,
Right.
two, my same. Like literally, I have all of these desires and all of these avenues. How am I doing this too?
Right.
So let's start off with perception. One thing I learned in marketing is that it's best to build trust and establish a brand, whether that's a personal brand or a product based brand, is
Mhm.
essentially to do the same thing over and over again. And
Right.
we know that that works. We see that method happen with all types of creatives. And in fact, like we see the evidence from a product that it works from somebody else, and we are more inclined to buy it. We know that that's how that
Mhm.
right? So being a
Yes.
photographer, if you consistently share your work online and you have all of this evidence based on the work that you create, people ideally are more likely to hire you for your services, XYZ.
Mhm.
So typically, unfortunately, when you
Mhm.
begin to expand your lane, people might see it as a divergence instead
Mhm.
of expansion.
Yeah. Or a
Why
dilution of sorts.
right, where it's like, "Why aren't you focused on this one thing?" Like, "No, this is your thing.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah.
belong your place," kinda thing.
They want you to be in a box so bad.
Babes, people love putting you in that little square. I am more than that.
It's too small in here. Let
It's
me
too
out.
small. And one example I always use when I have these conversations is the fact that my understanding of the world, the way that I perceive the world, is that everyone is a complex being.
Right.
So I would not be surprised if Lena, the moment I met you and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a photographer and a DJ and creative producer. I'm not surprised that you can and do all of these things or have
Yeah.
like multiple interests. I'm intrigued. I'm impressed. I'm excited about all of these different avenues. So, as a woman who contains multitudes, how have you handled those uncomfortable or even annoying parts of being perceived?
Yeah. Such a good, thoughtful question, Chrissy. And I like how you broke that down because that is a really good framework to even start to think about these things. Yes. And to start, I appreciate you and receive and thank you for viewing me as a woman of multitudes and highlighting me in that sense too, because yeah, I think it just needs to be talked about. Like, let's get into it.
Okay. we,
um
we do a lot.
I do a lot, yeah, and like people don't even really know all the different things that I do. Like even the things that I told you, that's not all the things that I do for work, like.
Yeah.
But yes, so in terms of perception, I think I actively navigate that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's something that I grapple with a lot, and it's something that I feel like people have also like brought to me in different ways, and usually in like limiting ways, but sometimes in ways that kind of like open up my perception too. So, for example, like even on that part of marketing and putting out something over and over again, like I had a hard conversation with like two of my best friends, my homegirls AJ and Rawan. Like we chop it up damn near every day, and we're all creatives. And one time they told me like, "Oh, you need to post more of your digital work on your page. Like you do a lot of really great digital imaging, but you only post like your artsy or like, your artsy film photos that really look a certain way." And I'm like, "Well, this is my page. That's what I like." So,
Right. Time out, first of all.
you know, I take digital images all the times for different clients and stuff, but I guess I just am drawn to my film photography more. And
Yeah.
I listened to them though begrudgingly, and they were right. It brought in more clients and more opportunities because people can see that I do more than one type of photography. And like in a lot of commercial spaces, people really value digital photography, and
Yeah.
they value the clarity that it has, and some of the different textures that it offers. So that's like a moment where I feel like somebody nudging me about how I may be perceived was like a positive thing, even though I was resistant to it at first. So like I think one thing is like not being afraid to like try new things, not being afraid to take on feedback. And I think that like as long as everything is intentional and in line with your taste level as you are putting things out, even if you're doing different things, like if I'm promoting a DJ post or a DJ set that I did or a video or an art show, if you look at my page, it still looks like it's all in my world because it's all aligned with my taste level. So I think that's a way to kind of bring it together, but I'm still figuring it out actively too. And something I've been like working towards and thinking about in terms of lightening the weight of perception of me for other people. Cause I know what's up with myself, but like you have to make yourself, or we've been told we have to make ourselves digestible for folks,
Mm-hmm.
And like something I found with doing a lot is that people didn't really know where to place me. And I've
Yes.
dealt with that a couple times where like someone will put a call out and I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm interested." And they're like, "Well, what do you do?" I've literally been told like, "What do you do? You're like a creative black hole." I've been told that before. I'm
Whoa.
like, "Mm-hmm." And it's like,
That's
that's not
crazy.
necessarily, yeah, verbatim, verbatim. And
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know if that's like a compliment or an insult, but what I'm getting is that you feel confused. And like, granted, this was a couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, but that kind of stuck with me too, where it's like people want to be able to easily pinpoint you. If they're thinking about somebody for a job, they want to be able to easily say that, like, "Oh, well, she just does photography, or she just does this or that." So
And
something
this
I've been
type
thinking
of
about.
photography
Yeah,
and this type.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And it's very specific. So something I've been thinking about is like, how do I house these different things that I do
Yeah.
in a space that is easier for people to kind of like digest and perceive. So like I've been thinking about like an umbrella brand or an umbrella company, or maybe that's me, like, and I just continue to do what I'm doing, and I'm the, you know, host of these things. But I've been thinking about that a lot, and I've been actively navigating it as well.
Yeah. I've
So
been I've been thinking about getting a manager because also having all of these different creative avenues and creative ideas and really seeing them through. And also, I love that you mentioned that, like, the through lines are there. If you look at the work,
Mhm.
you can see that my hand has touched all of these different things. They're
Yes,
on
yes.
brand, but they feel like maybe 5 different brands to somebody on the outside who doesn't know you
Mhm.
personally. And so I've been thinking like, "Oh, if I get a manager, maybe they can help hone in on like what the actual translation is for someone else, for the audience, for the potential
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
potential company kind of thing." Do you
Mhm.
think of collaboration in that way? Do you think, or do you already have a manager? Or are there different types of ideas, formulations coming around your head that's like, how can I make this more succinct
Yeah.
without shrinking yourself?
That's a great question. I do have a manager. Shout out Malik.
Shout out
Um,
Malik.
yeah, and he's wonderful. And the thing I've seen with managers of all types, because I work with like I work in the music industry a little bit too, just to throw another thing in there. I work closely with like artists, and just what I've seen with management in general, regardless if you are like a huge artist or if you are up and coming, is people want to see like what they're investing in, you know? So it's kind of like regardless of who your manager is, it's important for you as the artist to be very proactive.
Mhm.
And sometimes they don't really put things together for you the way that you think they would. They push what's already there, you know? So you kind of have to like offer them this or, you know, even let them know what you're looking for and stuff like that. But I do think a manager can help you bring things together or even connect you with somebody who can. And I think that having conversations with your peers can help you do that. Like I've had some like really great conversations with some folks that I look up to that I work with that are like a little bit older than me, a little bit more deep in the game, and I've gotten some really good advice from them. Specific, and they're actually the people like, you know, I work with this guy named Vic Burnett, and Sam Hamed, and they're both owning their own companies and doing great things. And I work pretty closely with both of them, and like they're both actually the people who put that umbrella brand like
Mhm.
concept into my brain. Like you need something to house this, and I could see you doing this, but like you know, like Vic was the one that was like, you know, umbrella brand would really help you. And then Sam was the one that was like, even within your umbrella brand, like what is the vessel that is allowing you to really take things there or, you know, really open up these different doors for you. So like, yeah, I think having conversations with folks that are doing the thing that you want to do or that you hope to do and just like being open to talking and taking in some feedback or you know, yeah, just collaborating with folks. That's like a huge essential part to the artist journey in general. So yeah,
I love
definitely help.
that. Always bringing in, whether they're an official mentor or a casual mentor, like somebody a little older than you, or just got more time in whatever industry you in,
Yeah,
that can give you a little nugget. That's invaluable for real.
I love a mentor. I'm always looking for a mentor. I'd be like, you want to mentor me? You want to tell me what to do?
Okay.
Like, because
Tell
I
me what's
don't
up. What's
know.
going on?
Like, I love mentor figures and I seek those out, you know, and like a mentor can come in any form or, you know, somebody
Sure.
that offers you something could come in any form. It could be your friends, you know, like if
Mhm.
you are open and receptive enough. So,
There's always something to learn from your people.
yes, yes.
Okay. Let's move to the next pillar, desire. So, as a part of this idea, I've been thinking a lot about the possibilities that you might not get the opportunity to do or be or make everything you desire. That depresses me, but I don't actually think it's a depressing thing. It's just the truth of the matter. I think anything is possible and nothing is impossible, but
Right.
we here on limited time. So we can only do and be as much based on as much time as we have here, and we don't know how much time we got here, right? So what I
Very
would
true.
like to know, you know,
Mhm.
is if you ever struggle with any fear around that, or if inversely you like, girl, I don't even be thinking about that. I just be on my grind.
Okay, so the question is, do I fear not being able to do all of the multitudes of things that I desire to do
Right.
in this life? That's such an interesting one. I think I have a little bit of fear around that.
Okay.
Like just a little bit. And it's more so like it's not a fear of being able to cross every single thing off the list. It's a fear of like neglecting the list as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's certain things that, you know, certain ideas or concepts or endeavors that I really want to do, you know, before it's too late. So some kind of take precedence over others. Like, for example, I really want to do about a documentary, like a short film documentary about my auntie in Oakland who has like lived in Oakland for like 50, 60 plus years. And she just has such an interesting story. And she's old as hell. Like she's an old lady. So, you know, if I wasn't able to do that, like, you know, before either me or her transitioned eventually, I would probably be devastated, you know?
Yeah.
So there's certain things that have a little more urgency and a little bit more fear attached. But it's not like I'm not worried about not doing like everything in general. I think it can get a little overwhelming. So like maybe that's where a little bit of fear is attached is like I have all these things, like am I going to really push myself to do it? But it's not quite a fear of like not doing it at all or in general. It's more like there are certain things I really know I desire to create before I go. And like some of these ideas, they feel bigger than others for creatives. Like some of your ideas are literally like almost haunting you or just on your back. Like, are you gonna completely
Like,
like are you you know? So I think like the fear is more like just not fulfilling your full potential in general, as opposed to like
agreed.
being ravenous with like having to do all the things that I want to do. Like I just want to look back at my, you know, work and what I've done with my time here and feel like I didn't waste my time or I didn't waste my potential or I didn't like, you know, at least to a certain degree, you know. But at the same in the same breath, even for like what you have done so far as well as an artist, like I also am a big believer in like appreciating and taking so much gratitude and joy and pride in what you have already done and already put out there.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
like, you know, I think that there's like a lot of metrics that we think we need to hit or anything like that. And I think it's really important to just cherish the work that you have already done and just feel very proud of that as well. Like, you know, if you're an artist or if you're a photographer, it doesn't matter if you ever like get a Grammy or get to a certain museum or whatever, like it's important that you did the work in the first place and that it exists and that you shared it, you know? Like that's very special. You left something behind regardless. So
Yeah, and also you never know when your time gonna come. I was talking to a friend of mine who's an artist. His name's Jalen. Shout out to Jalen. We're
shout
talking
out
about the
Jalen.
idea of you know, wanting that bigger goal, like something like a Grammy, a Oscar, and kind of being like, but if you can't really see when or how it'll happen and da da da. And one thing I shared with him was the idea that even though it does stress me out that I'm like, dang, I don't know if I'll be able to be and do all of these things that I really want to do.
Mhm.
I feel like there's just a moment where it's going to work out anyway. I always was like the type of kid to watch those interviews about like the unsung heroes, the artists
Yeah.
that were taking like a one or two hit wonder. Where did they go?
Yeah.
And that is kind of my perspective. I'm like, whether it come now or after I'm dead and gone, it's gonna come and it's gonna
Yes.
be glorious. Okay.
Yes.
Like no matter what. So in that way, I'm not really stressed out. Like, and also
Yeah.
I don't know from what it's gonna come from.
Yeah.
Speaking or thinking about expansion where somebody else might see divergence. Like one of the things I want to be in life is a pilot. Has
Mm.
nothing to do with anything else I
Yes.
do.
I
Completely
seen that you side quested and like drove a
you know
fucking
what I'm
plane all
saying?
your
Like, already done dipped my toe in. I'm like, okay, I think I
fun.
actually want to be a pilot, right? I'm thinking about like, yo, what if I never actually get to go through with this? Because it just takes a lot of time. Like, that's like, oh, I have to commit a certain amount of time every day for X amount of years in order to complete this goal or whatever. Like, when can I have the time?
Mm.
But as I have gone on, like in this desire and like lived a little more, I've been like, oh, when, like, I don't know when the time's going to come. But I
Yes.
have found like time has made its space in my life in so many other ways that who knows, it might just come into my life and be like, oh, here you go. Here's when you're
Yeah.
supposed to do it. And whether that's when I'm like 46 or 87, it really don't matter because it's gonna come. So I just gotta relax and like let life happen. And I love that this is a reality.
Yeah. You know, and at the end of the day, like you can put forward as much of an effort as you would like, but not everything is in our hands. You know, you can only handle yourself and your effort, and you can't really control much else for real. And like even just on that note of goals, like I wonder like how different people, you know, define and, you know, measure their goals and like what do
Mm-hmm.
people's goals look like? Like a lot of artists, you know, music is like one of the easier ways to like frame it for me, but like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
artists are like, well, I want a certain amount of streams or I want this or that. And I'm like, well, what about the fact that you're popping in your own city? You know, what about the fact that like you have, you know, reached this amount of people and influenced your hometown or, you know, like
Or you got your first listener in another country.
yes, like
You get to just
I
run.
think
It's you reach somebody in a whole nother country. Like that's crazy.
yes, yes. I think we can get caught up in like grandiose goals and like goalposts.
Yeah.
And like even as it relates to your pilot story, like who the hell has driven a plane by themselves in the first place on their birthday, at their birthday party on their birthday? Like that's fire. I've never done that. A lot of people haven't done that, you know, and a lot of people that look like us and are our peers and that we could look up to on a very real level haven't done that, you know? So like
Yeah.
even you doing that has impacted and inspired and influenced your personal community. Like,
That's true. And to be clear, I had my instructor there. So I was not by myself. He was
oh girl, I thought she was just up there doing it alone. I was like,
I,
that's
that is the goal. The
like just
instructor
to clear it
right
up. It was a person
right.
there, but you were driving there, weren't you?
Yeah. I absolutely had moments where I was driving it. I took over, but my instructor was there holding it down. He absolutely took off. Actually, there was a part where I was in the takeoff, like I was in control of the takeoff. But he
That's
did the
wild.
majority of the work to take off and to land. And then I had the opportunity to steer and like turn and all of that by myself in the air, which was really cool.
Yeah. Still entirely just as badass. Like
Still, I still felt like a badass. I said, "Oh my god."
yeah, that's really, really dope and really special. And like I love seeing people kind of expand their own horizons and their own personal horizons and like go for things that they want to, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. With that in mind, can we know something else you want to do that we don't know that you do yet?
That's a good one, man. I think like thank God I have been doing the things that I want to, and there's such a joy and pleasure in that. Yes, like everything I desire, I at least try, and I at least try to try in a brave way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, what do I want to do? Honestly, yes, probably just get more into directing, like
Ooh,
moving visuals, moving images, and
yeah.
really pushing myself to write more stories and narratives around that. That is truly one thing that is like still in my list, and a lot of the concepts that I have that are sitting in my list are around directing and like writing slash telling stories in a more, you know, long form way with moving images as opposed to static ones.
I love this. I see it for you.
Yes.
I see it for
It's
you.
it's a bigger lift, you know, like I think accessibility is also a big thing. But no, it's a farce. That's a farce. Cause
Um,
like you could tell yourself the resource lie for as long
Exactly.
as you want to
Exactly. I
until
like that
you
you stopped
finally are
yourself.
like, yes, until you're finally like, at what point do I work with what I have to get to that level of resource? Like even when me throwing art shows, like this will be, I just announced my third art show that I'm curating. It's my second group show, y'all. So
Yes.
photographer life check platform, make sure you tap the fuck in.
Hey, let me pull up the link while you talk about it.
Yeah. So it's my 2nd group art show. My first one was in January of this year. And it's called Art and Jazz. It's going to feature 13 really dope artists from our local community here in LA in the Bay Area, but as well from all over the place. We have artists showing from UK, from South Africa, from the East Coast. It's a really beautiful lineup, and it's going to be soundtracked by my favorite jazz collective in the city, who are
Ooh.
called the Sparker Band. So it's going to be really special. And long-windedly, why I brought this up was because we were talking about resources. So I have been wanting to throw an art show for a minute. It really started because I've been wanting to throw a solo show for myself for quite some time. And along the way of me trying to execute and think about that, I thought about showcasing like all of the incredible women and non-binary artists that are in my community and that like genuinely give me life and hope and inspiration and just
Yeah.
juice. And for some reason, I just had more motivation and more of a drive towards it. And another thing, like for creatives everywhere, I read something and this really influenced me this year, which is like to capitalize when you feel motivated towards something as a creative. If you feel a push towards something and you feel motivated towards something, take that momentum to make sure that you execute it because it's kind of hard to come by, right?
You
And
know?
just allow that to push you to do the thing. So yeah, I was just more motivated towards that. And I ended up paying for my first and second art shows completely out of pocket, right?
Oh, incredible.
Yes. Yeah, it was, yeah. So, and I did get some community support. Like the first one, the venue did give me like a really nice discount, but it was still quite a hefty price tag.
Yeah.
And via doing this, but I wanted to do it and I had set bread aside for it and stuff. So via doing that and via doing my second art show, which I also paid for, I was able to create proof of concepts. And
Mhm.
like even my second art show, I did my second art show at the venue that I'm doing this one at. So me and the homies at Donata House, we had just been building after I paid to use their space, and they agreed to host me. And like, if you
Okay.
know, if you throw events, trying to get a space is the hardest part. Everything
Mhm.
else is cake, but securing that venue is the hardest part, at least in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So investing in like my vision in the way that I could or at the level that I could brought me to another level of resource. And like, hopefully, you know, from what I've done or what I do with this one, maybe then we'll get some sponsorships,
Mhm.
or continued community support or continued collaboration. So like that idea of like waiting till you have a certain resource amount is gonna like just it's not never gonna serve you for real.
Yeah.
Working with what you have
Real.
is
It's not
Working with
real.
a real gift. It's not real. You got to just start where you at. And like another thing I had heard from a creative that really stuck with me is like to make the work that you want to get hired for, you know,
Mhm.
to create the work that you do want to get paid for instead of just being like, well, I have these skills, like hire me for this opportunity. Like do it yourself. Allow people to see what your vision looks like. I had got caught up in like working on other people's things for so long. It's like, well, what does it look like when Lena does something completely on her own? What does Lena want to share with the world? What does Lena want to contribute to the conversation? What does it look like if, I make my own short film or if I curate my own art show, like, and I'm not doing it considering anybody else's vision or desires or budget or whatever the case may be. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one of my favorite things about containing multitudes is creating the thing you wanna get hired for, which if I create, like you're saying, my own documentary about my auntie, I create the event I wanna see with the people I wanna see highlighted in it and supported in it, and I create the sets I want people to move to, like, I am what else is like being your full self if not living within all of these multitudes? Like,
Mm,
that's to me, like, that's the dream. I get to exist as all of these parts of me. How beautiful,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, it's a blessing. It really is. And I think that there's like so much hate around like creatives who do a lot of things. Like even when I tell people like cuz I'm in LA or whatever. So even when I tell people like they'll be like what do you do? I'll be like, "Ugh, this fucking question, man.
No,
Like
for real.
I'm about to sound so head ass right now. I'm going to sound like every fucking creative director in LA. You
But
know
this
what I'm saying?
actually this feeds straight into the next pillar, which is reality. Like you
Yes.
show up as all these things. My literal question is, how do you introduce yourself in different rooms?
Dude, I fucking hate introducing myself. Like, I despise it. I feel like such an asshole. Like, and sometimes I won't even say all the things that I do because I'm like, now you just sound head ass. But that
Yeah,
might be like my own projection of like, because I do think that everybody in LA is like a million things and it's almost like this trope, right?
yeah, absolutely.
And there's almost a negative connotation. Like I've also gotten that feedback where it's like, oh, like jack of all trades, master of none, or like,
Yeah.
like people find it unattractive for some reason, you know? I don't know why. People
I think it's the thing where it's like they don't know where to place you. I think that's all it
Yeah.
is. Like, oh, you don't fit neatly into my brain. And honestly, I don't even think it's malicious most of the time. Like, I
Mhm.
think people are just, I think it's a human thing to want to be able
To categorize
to
easily.
really categorize everything in life. I think that's even just like a natural function of your brain. So when
Yeah.
you meet somebody who's like, no, I could do da 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 off bat, you're like, damn near like, bro, you lying. Like, why would you
Yeah.
say?
And you're like, oh, well, can you do all of these things well? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like, I think I can, maybe.
exactly.
I think I'm good at all the things that I do. I'm not gonna hold you. Like,
Yeah,
how
and you.
dare you try to simmer me down to one thing? Like, it would be a dishonor to my talents to not give them the space to breathe or even try. Like, and that's the thing, is like, a lot of this stuff is for myself too. You
Absolutely.
know, it's for me, you know, and you get to see it. You're
I'm writing
welcome.
this down. It's a dishonor to my talent. New mantra right there. Let's go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, with that, I feel like that's a perfect place to take a break. So, we'll be right back. Back to school season is upon us, and By Felicia Beauty is here to make sure you and your family start the school year off right. If you're in Chicago now through August 31st, you can lock in your appointment for a retwist in style at $100, a fresh set of natural hair braids at $85, and two strand twists at $100. So head over to byfeliciabeauty.glossgenius.com because spots are filling up quickly. Again, appointments can be made at byfeliciabeauty.glossgenius.com and just look for the back to school category. And don't forget the required $25 deposit. Wishing everyone a successful school year with By Felicia Beauty. Now let's get back to the show. And we're back. So I want to jump into the next segments, but before I do, I just want to resound our interview portion by saying, one, I'm deeply grateful to be surrounded by women in particular who contain multitudes throughout my life, but especially here on this podcast. I'm so happy to be able to have this conversation with you. And I felt like I could have asked you a million more questions about it. But like I said at the top, because you come in with so much expertise in all of these different lanes, I just knew you would be the perfect person to talk to. And I really loved your answers. So thank you again for participating
Man,
and
thank you so
sharing your
much.
life and your world and your mind and your dreams.
Thank you so much. Thank you for seeing something in me that you know, want to share on your platform as well. Thank you for the work that you do again. Like, I don't know. I really have such warm, grateful feelings in my heart. And yeah, I'm so glad that you had me. I'm so glad that we connected. And I really love Photographer Life Check. I love that the work that you do here. And I get a lot from like, you know, being introduced to these other women via the show and their work. Like, it's such a gift, and I'm honored to be in such great company. And yeah, that you decided to have me. Truly.
Thank you so much, my sweets. So let's get into the gear don't matter, but this
Oh, cool.
segment is all about the gear that we use, that we love and appreciate. And I wanted to
Yeah.
shout out our gear that we love because they're the tools that we use and we need them in order to create the thing.
Cute,
But
cute, so cute.
it is in opposition to the idea that all of our gear needs to be the most expensive gear in order to create the thing that we want to create. So
Yes.
I would ask if you can keep this one to image making or,
Sure.
motion work. But
Yeah.
what is your favorite piece of gear and why? It doesn't have to be a camera, but it can be.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. No, I love this question. And like, heavy on that, at the end of the day, it does not matter what type of camera or gear that you use. Like, I hate when like photographers try to like make that a thing. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to have 8 lenses. You don't have to have the nicest camera. You don't have to shoot on manual if you don't want to.
Also,
Period.
I know plenty of photographers who shoot on auto, actually.
And it's such like a discourse around it. Like you will definitely like photographers will talk bad to you if you're like working on auto, and it's like none of that matters. It's about your eye.
It's
Point
about
blank
your eye.
period. It's about your eye and your vision. And the edit is also really important to me, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I would say it's between the cameras that I use. I've been
Okay.
using a Sony A7S III since
Mhm.
I started taking photography seriously. I started making images in 2016 and I was
Mhm.
working entirely on a film camera. And then I moved back to LA from the Bay Area, and I picked up a Sony. And so that has been the one and only digital camera that I've used to make all of the images that anybody
Right.
probably has seen or known me for,
Yeah.
and really like build my career as a photographer. I've never switched the lens out. I have the same lens that I got at Best Buy. I'm pretty sure it came with the camera. I don't even
Mhm.
know what. No, you know what? I did get a new lens. I did get a new lens. I have a Tamron lens on it because I broke my first lens on tour. Whatever. It don't even matter. I don't even know what lens is on there.
And you still
I'm
make
not
great work.
Yeah, I'm not super like on the technical side, don't have extra lenses. So just my like very trusted Sony. Shout out Sony if anybody over there wants to give me a sponsorship. Super
Okay.
available for that. But I love my Sony. I love my Sony. I love my Sony. And then just whatever film camera is available. Like right now I have some like Nikon, but I don't even know what type it is. But as long as it's a film camera, it could be point and shoot, it could be manual, just any film camera that is like small, and I usually keep my film camera on me at all times. I do a lot of like street and candid photography, and I
Yeah.
document my environments and my cities a lot. So
I like that too. Whatever film camera is available, honestly, real.
yeah, I don't really chip on the specifics. Like I said, it's really about just how I frame the image and
Yeah.
what I decide to capture.
Okay, let's get into these photographs not taken. So, if this is your first time listening, photographs not taken is all about the memories that live in your mind that you wish you could photograph. I want to be clear. This is not, oh, I made a mistake on set, my gear broke and I didn't get the shot and now it's been stressing me out for weeks and weeks and weeks. No. This is you saw a moment in life. You saw a moment that lived with you this whole time where you really wanted to photograph or you thought it was worth image making, but you didn't. And that could be for a multitude of reasons, but
Right.
you didn't get it. So a memory that's just etched within your mind. Also, I've been wanting to try this thing where maybe
Yeah.
I go first
Let's do
to
it.
give you some time and like, I don't know. I just found like a lot of people get nervous about this question. So I don't
I
mind.
know this question is glitching me out, but I've been thinking about it. I'm like, she's gonna hate my answer, but it's okay. Let's have you go first. Maybe you can help me a little bit.
Okay. So my photograph not taken right now, it happened a couple days ago. I'm in Chicago right now. And one character trait that I love about Chicago is our traditional back porches, specific on apartment buildings. They're
Mm,
classic wood. And of course, if it's like older wood, it's like dark instead of that fresh wood look. It's like a dark brown. And it's just the construction of it, right? So anytime I'm on a back porch in Chicago, I take a picture or whatever.
oh,
So there's
beautiful.
this moment where I was on back porch with my niece and my
Mhm.
niece is standing there basically like at the top of the steps. She has her pink backpack on. Mind you, my niece is 2 years old, so just a little tiny baby. She has her pink
Mm.
backpack on. She has a pink outfit on. It's like a top of
Backpack
the
probably
stairs.
like the size of half her
Of
body
her
type.
whole body. You know what I mean? Just got a daycare kind of vibe. And I'm standing at the bottom of the steps and I'm looking at her and I see myself. And I
Oh,
like there's this image I have in my family archive where I'm standing at the top of the steps of a backyard. It was my back porch as a kid, my childhood
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I have on jelly slippers. She has on the jelly slipper sandals. I'm just like I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, my little Chicago baby girl.
And it was just, yeah, she's just a Chicago baby. Does she even know? Like,
it was the sweetest little moment. I loved it so bad. And I was just like, hi, Phoenix. And she was like, hey, Titi.
And didn't have your camera on you or nothing, huh?
Didn't nothing. And I was just like, this is it right here. But now it did make me want to take pictures of all my nieces and nephews on the back porch and just make like a little photo, like just a family photo series on it. Nothing crazy. But
you definitely should. You definitely should. I love that. That is so tender and so sweet.
I know, it's so tender.
It's so tender. Like, my heart is a pile of mush. I'm gonna cry on this podcast if you want me to. I'll cry right now.
I was like, oh my God, my little baby.
Yeah, so, that is so sweet. I think photography and documentation is such a gift. And like you even being able, like being afforded to have that photo of yourself, you know, and somebody wanting to document you and capture you and then happen to save that physical image for you to see it and see that image in your and then if you decide to take photos of your nieces and nephews, that's a gift, you know. Like, I think photography is so important. There's a book called To Photograph is to Learn How to Die.
Oh, I'm reading that right now, actually.
No way.
I'm in the middle of it.
It's a tough read, but it's very interesting, and like it kind of made me think about photography also in like a more tender way, and like, actually, wow, this is extremely important work.
You want to come back and talk about it? Because I was thinking about having an episode about it, but I wanted to talk.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. We'll schedule another episode where it's just
rendezvous. Okay. Yeah, because I just loved our date. Like, we could do this whenever.
Yes, okay. Honestly, a monthly episode, me and Lena.
Come on, like, let's just chop it up. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes. So please let us know, what's your favorite photograph not taken right now?
Yeah. So I was going to give an irritating answer, but you actually telling your story reminded me of a very clear instance that also happened to me recently that I can point to for this. But my initial answer was going to be something along the lines of like, I don't really know. There's so many. And like, there are a few moments like for me to really take the photos that I want to, I always wish that I could freeze time and simultaneously become invisible, right? Because the presence of the photographer disrupts, you know, especially if it's a stranger or if it's like very cognizant or whatever, you disrupt the candidness of a moment. And really great photographers are able to still capture a truthful moment without disrupting that too much. Sometimes it's because the subject doesn't know that you're there, or the subject is comfortable with you or whatever. But I've had so many moments, especially because I love street photography, that I've just wanted to freeze, become invisible, and capture, especially like in foreign countries or people that I don't know. Like, that would be my photographer superpower. But that's not the case. So there's a lot of moments where I wish I could just get it without being obtrusive or without getting cussed out or whatever the case may be, especially as a street photographer. But there was a moment, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was driving around Leimert Park, California, Los Angeles. I don't know why I said the whole state. But LA also, similar to like the Chicago portions, we have a very specific style of architecture, like especially like in central LA and south central LA, there's a very specific type of house architecture that you'll find in LA. And I've also been like doing a series kind of documenting the architecture out here, but there was a lady, man, and I'm gonna recreate this like in a music video or something. Like, I'm about to go find this lady. This lady, we were just like slowly driving by, and she had the house on a curb, and the house is green. The house is like an olive green, and she has this big front yard, you know, and like certain parts of Leimert Park, as you get like closer to View Park, her house was in between, but like the houses get bigger and more extravagant, but there's still like black neighborhoods. So boom, so she has this olive green house. It's beautiful olive green. And this lady was such a diva. She's an icon. I hope she's having a great fucking day. And like out from this house emerges this lady in an all pink robe. just like the brightest pink robe that you could possibly imagine. And she just walks out on her porch like this, cigarette or J hanging out of her lips, lit. She not even holding it. She crossed arms and she just looking around right in the middle of her like doorway / porch, like the symmetry and then the greens and then the
And the
bright
green and the pink together. Ooh.
It was nasty and it was so natural. Like she was just walking out. You know, I don't know what she was doing, just making sure everything was copacetic in her area. Like she was checking up on her block and she just looked like a boss. She looked like an icon and she was just like, it was also just so natural. She looked like just a lady that was, you know, stepping out for a smoke. And I felt like it was so quintessentially LA. And I just thought she was such an icon. And I like really want to recreate that image somehow. But I wish I took a photo of that. Shout out to her.
I love this so bad because you're not wrong. Like there are so many moments that I see on the street where I'm like, damn, I wish I was invisible or wish I had a camera on me and then went invisible because some of the best moments in life are the ones where people don't think anybody can see them. And that's why she came out just bad as hell with the J. Like, how fabulous.
I had no idea. And she inspired me so deep. Like, I literally wrote it down in a notes, like what I had just seen, so I could remember if I wanted to try to recreate it. But yeah, and then even like on that invisible note, the invisibility would allow you to gain like intimacy and physical closeness, you know, with your subject, unbeknownst to them, which is like also something I would love to do is just really get really, really close. I'm invisible. You can't see me, but I'm right there and I'm taking advantage. But, you know, life isn't always like that. But I think like even if you do get into street photography and you're traveling like foreign countries, it helps you like learn how to communicate with people and navigate that because like I also try to be somewhat ethical when I do street photography. And if it's like a very outright image of somebody, then you have to ask, you know, like, so yeah.
I appreciate this. Thank you so much. And I think maybe I'm going to adopt this of just me going first and like allowing.
It helps me. I love that.
Cool. I'm glad. Perfect. Okay, so our next segment is the PLC playlist, which you can find on Spotify. The link is always in the show notes. I want to know what you're listening to right now, and we can add it to the playlist so the girls can listen to while they outside shooting their street photography.
Oh my gosh, girl. Okay, so just one song?
You can give me more if you want to, but only one song needed. Some people have given me like 5, 6 songs. I was like, okay, you making the playlist.
Okay, that might be too much, but you know you asking a DJ, so I'm like,
I know.
In the music. Okay, cool. I'll do 3 if that's cool.
Perfect. Let's do it.
I have been listening to this Earl song, this Earl Sweatshirt song called Charlie Tuna. CHALI 2NA. And like, I'm not the biggest Earl fan, but this is one of my favorite Earl songs I've heard. Produced by Gang.
I feel like nobody else has given me Earl. I'm so glad you brought Earl.
Yes. We had to come Earl today. And I've also been listening to, like Earl actually just signed the homie Cletus, who just dropped a project today. So I've been listening to his project called Rappers Suck. We don't have to include that, but I just want to shout the homie out.
Okay, shout out to him.
Okay, St. Claude by Sango off Sango's new project, Slapper.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do...
I didn't even listen to Sango's new project yet.
It's really nice. It's really, really nice.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go something a little more chill for the girls when they're like editing or they want a little more downtime. And I'm going to go... What's this song called? Wall Street by Yellow Shoots.
Ooh, I don't know this. Yellow Shoots.
In the cut.
Street. Let's go. Leave it to a DJ to put us on. Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. So like I said, we're adding all these songs to the PLC playlist. My addition this week is...
Let's hear it.
Cruza, Seltzer.
I love Cruza.
Song. First of all, they done had me in a chokehold like all week. I've been just running down the whole discography.
So did they drop something?
They didn't drop nothing new. What happened was I heard Seltzer again. And I was like, oh,
We appreciated it. Yeah.
and then that led me down. I just running it. When I tell you running it up, I love Cruza so bad. I
Bro, do we talk about Cruza enough?
we
Like,
never
I
talk
don't
about
think we talk
Cruza.
about Cruza because they're extremely talented. Like, I love I haven't heard Seltzer yet. I'm gonna listen to it, but they have some really, really wonderful, lovely music. Every time I listen to a Cruza song, I'm like, this is just really fucking good.
Perfect. Like they're
It's perfect.
incredible artists. I love
Yes.
that they're still like mysterious. They're just not like all up in your face all the time. It's like
Yes.
I'm attracted to the mystery behind them. It keeps me focused on the music.
Yes. Yeah.
They're incredible. Seltzer is a banger. Like
I'm
I'm
about
sorry.
to listen.
I'm honestly sorry for all of the other music you've been listening to lately because once you listen to Seltzer, you're also going to be in the
I'll
same
be out of here. I'm literally about to listen on my drive after this. But yeah, shout out to Cruza. I really appreciate and love their music. Like they're really,
Truly.
really great. Yeah. I didn't know that the lead singer like was a dude, I think.
And I think there might be, well, I think he's the lead, and then I know the woman also sings
That's
sometimes.
like the guitarist. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're badass.
I don't know. Yeah, they were always
Mhm.
hell. Shout out to Cruza. Okay, and last but of course not least, we have the shoot your shot segment. This segment is an opportunity for us and everybody listening to love up on you and help you manifest your next big dream. So, who is somebody or company you would love to photograph or work for? That could be in any of the lanes you occupy.
Birdman hand rub. Okay. Raven Lene has been on my list for a long time.
Wait, who
No
you say?
Raven Lene.
Raven Lene. Come on, come on.
I love her. No
Chicago.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another Chicago.
Another one. No names on her 10-year anniversary of Telephone, and I like Feel Feelings. That project was so important to me.
Same, same. I can't wait to see her live.
Oh my gosh, I need to try to catch her on one of these shows, man. I would love to partner with a camera company.
Yes. Like who?
And
Maybe Sony?
Sony or Fujifilm. I love them both.
Fuji, yes.
Yes, y'all. And I want to do more music videos. I don't have like a specific artist that I want to do that with.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of like the artist that I work with already, whose name is Westside Boogie. Shout out Boogie.
Shout out Boogie.
So I would love a big Boogie video, but I would also just love to like work on a music video for artists that I'm excited about. And also, this isn't photography related, but something I've been manifesting hard as fuck and calling in is that I want to DJ for a really dope female artist that I rock with and like go on tour as their DJ.
Yes. Okay. So Raven Lene, No Name, or any other baddie out here, we can totally see Lena DJing for you, photographing the next editorial or cover art. And in fact, Sony will be sponsoring the new gear in order to complete that mission. I see
Talk about it, Qurissy. Talk about it.
Sprinkling a little bit of magic on all these ideas because I know you're going to make it happen, my girl.
Thank you, my queen. I appreciate you so much. This has been so lovely. Like, thank you for pouring into me. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the care that you put into your show and your guests and your preparation. Like, it doesn't go unnoticed. And yeah, I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful for you. Can you please let the people know where you would like to be found?
Yes. You can tap in with me at Lena Elgab on Instagram at LenaElgab. That's like probably the best place to tap in. But my email is also the same thing, LenaElgab@gmail. Yeah. And find me there and keep up with what I got going on. And follow Photographer Life Check if you haven't already. And support the work that Qurissy is doing that is extremely important work and impactful work for not just her, but like her communities and probably spaces and places that she doesn't even know yet. So God bless Qurissy, bless her journey, bless this platform, like allow her to continue to do the work that she does with ease and with abundance, allow her to continue to get rewarded for the hard work that she puts in. And yeah, whatever she wants and manifests as well, give it to her. Give it to her right now.
Me shoot your shot.
Yeah, I like shot your shot for you.
All these links for Lena will be in the show notes. And in fact, I mean, of course, you'll see them on her Instagram bio when you check it out.
Mhm.
But I'll just have all of the other pages she runs as well, like the DJ
Yeah.
page and the visual prayer page. So y'all can make
Yes.
sure y'all hit up that new show that you're
Yeah,
producing.
please, y'all, anybody out
August
there,
9th.
yes, pop out to Art and Jazz on August 29th. That is, you know, the main thing that I'm pushing right now and the main thing that I would love support on right now. So
Perfect. We're going to make sure we
Yes.
pack it out.
Hell
And
yeah.
you can find us anywhere you get your podcast at Photographer Life Check. Be sure, though, to watch us on YouTube and Spotify. And that's where you can see our beautiful faces and all the beautiful work that we create. So make sure you like, subscribe, like, rate, all of the things over there. And you can find me, your host, at Qurissy. Also, anywhere you get your podcast and anywhere you get your images too. And we'll see y'all next time.
All right, see you.